What's up? Hope your day's going well. Metadata here with another episode of a software engineer learning how to hack. I am practicing how to hack with one of TryHackMe's starter practices called Pickle. So it is a capture the flag. That type of a challenge is when there's a flag hidden somewhere on a remote host and you have to find it, and the method that you use to find it depends on the type of CTF that was set up for you. So ours is a Rick and Morty themed one, and so we're gonna get right into it. All right, we got my Kali Linux machine on the right. We have Pickle the challenge on the left, and we're gonna go ahead and start the machine that it's on. If you need any guidance or instructions, help getting set up to use TryHackMe, they have instructions on their own website, but I've mentioned it in other of my videos, so make sure you go back and watch my old ones. I've gone a little bit more into detail. But you need to be connected to TryHackMe's network. We're about to get our web IP or IP address here. There we are. And so from what we read, it looks like that we don't have remote access to it directly via SSH or something like that. But it does say exploit a web server. So there's likely a website hosted at this IP address. This challenge may be a little bit simpler for me. I have some web development experience, so we're gonna see what this is going to be like. All right, so I have to load, because I have TryHackMe VPN running on my Kali Linux machine. I do have to load this up on the right or on the left inside of my. All right, is it running on HTTP? There it is. All right, it's running on HTTP. So that's one good sign in the sense that if we need to listen to some traffic, we could pretend it's not going to be encrypted. So that could be one way, just right off the top of my head. All right, here it is. Help, Morty. Listen, Morty, I need your help. I've turned myself into a pickle again, and this time I can't change back. I need you to burp, Morty. Log onto my computer and find the last 3 secret ingredients to finish my pickle reverse potion. The only problem is I have no idea what the password was. Help, Morty, help. All right, so log on to the computer. So, it's possible that, this is supposed to be just a static site. So first of all, what I usually go to is immediately go to inspect the website. So, all right, right off the bat, we are given Rick Rules as a username. Let's see, let's reload the site and just see if we have any other things here. So looks like just some jQuery and Bootstrap. No custom JavaScript, so no code there to take a look at. All right, so we have a username here, which could be really helpful if we wanted to use Hydra, which in a previous video, if you watched, we learned about Hydra, which is a brute force password cracking tool. So that's probably gonna be my first guess, and probably SSH, since we don't have like physical access to this computer. You're just gonna try SSH. So let's see if I remember how to use this tool. This. And then if I wanted to, I could also do 4 threads. Also probably worth doing a port scan to see what's actually running on the host. So we also learned that. We're gonna have to put together some of the tools that we learned how to use. Okay, oh, so it doesn't support password authentication because it only supports public keys. Okay, so that's properly secured. Looks like we're going to need to somehow exploit this machine another way. However, I may be going off the rails here because we were specifically said to exploit a web server to find 3 ingredients that will help Rick make his potion. We did exploit a web server, meaning that I think what we need to do is specifically find what is not secure about this web server. So I am going to go back to this and try this now. So we'll see. Okay, so I had to reinitialize the database for some reason. So let's go back and do another scan. This will take a minute or two, so I'll see when you're done, when it's done. All right, so that's done, and looks like it's pretty locked down. There seems to just be SSH and HTTP. So we already saw that SSH only lets keys, and we don't have the keys or the private key, so we can't use SSH. So it looks like we're gonna have to use some type of web server exploit, which is what the challenge said in the first place. But you know, hey, sometimes challenges can be solved more than one way. So what we're gonna do is go back to a previously solved room. Now I didn't go through all of these in videos just because it can get a little boring and repetitive just learning tools. But there is a tool called Nessus, and so it scans for vulnerabilities. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and load up. It is loaded 8834 on here. So we're gonna go to localhost 8834. I think it might be HTTPS. Yes. All right, so this is Nessus vulnerability scanner that's running on my Kali Linux and has all the plugins installed. So all you have to do is basically just type in an IP address, and it'll scan for if you know it's a web server, it'll scan for all of the vulnerabilities that exist on a web server. All right, so pretty much this is how you do a scan. And you basically just choose the type of scan you want to do. So for us, we have web application running. And so we'll do Rick and Morty CTF. And pretty much the target is just the IP address. So I'll just copy that. Yep, that'll do. All right, and launch the scan. So we'll be able to see as it runs, it will pop up with vulnerabilities here in this tab, and as well as the severity of the vulnerability, and then based on what we find, we'll see what we can exploit. All right, so a little bit of a stop and start there. Being a father and a husband, sometimes I have to stop what I'm doing, and life just gets in the way, and I have to start back up at a different time. So as you see, I've got different clothes on, and my hair is down. So and it's nighttime too. So that's just the reality. I am still recording myself live, but just pausing, and I haven't gotten any further. The only thing I've had to do, as you see here, is run this scan again, because the machines that they spin up for you for the challenges, they spin down after a certain time. So I had to spin up a new one that has a different IP address. But it's the same exact setup, so we should see the same exact results and find the vulnerabilities. So we're going to wait for that to finish, and we'll take a look at the results. All right, so it's not done yet, but already 12 blue items have showed up. So we're just gonna start diving into it as it continues running. And as I speak, a medium shows up, so we're definitely gonna want to take a look at that. So all the blue ones is just information, so probably just reconnaissance, more reconnaissance than actually finding real vulnerabilities. But the medium one, that's something we're gonna take a look. 2 mediums. Oh, we're hitting the jackpot. All right. So let's look at the first one. Browsable web directories. Sounds pretty straightforward. And so looks like the Apache web server has a browsable web directory. So let's go and browse around, shall we? So assets. All right, so we've got the actual website just loads one of these things. Let's look at the GIF here. Fail. Funny, funny. Okay. Pickle riff. Pickle Rick. Portal. Interesting. And Rick and Morty. This was actually on the website as being loaded. Yeah, so the other medium one here was jQuery, reference to XSS, which is cross-site scripting. We might be able to put in some cross-site scripting there, which we can dive into a little bit to figure that out. All right, do I have this? Oh gosh, XSS. Oh yeah, install it. Let's give it a shot. All right, we've got, I don't know how to pronounce it. Xser. All right, so if we use this, wow, okay. I swear, if it's just a basic solution and I'm deep diving into cross-site scripting. Okay. So we're going to basically try these basic examples. I'm not sure if they apply to us, but we're going to learn just by trying. So the IP that we have in our hands is... Okay, my numlock is not working. There we go. Okay. And I'm going to try just like that for now and just see what happens. Okay. Okay, those won't work. Okay. I don't want to have to be using this, but I just need like the tiniest little bit. Wait, what the heck is Nikto? Nikto. Executing Nikto. Nicto doesn't even say what it is. All right, well, clearly I got to learn something new. I was going down a bunch of weird routes. So, Kali, Linux, Nicto tutorial. Okay, so I use Nessus, they used Nicto. It's good to know if Nicto is a little bit more friendlier with the command line. All right, so this guy does, whoops. This guy does a nicto-h, and then the IP, and then basically tease it to a log, which is a good idea. I'm just doing it all as is, but you know, putting it to a log, and then let's see. So it's finding all the things that I already discovered. Anti-clickjacking, his header is not present. So let's do that version. You know, this is much faster than running Nessus. Nessus was like 5 minutes total. Now this might take a little while too, but like right off the bat, you can see that like anti-clickjacking, XSS protection header is not there. So while that's running, I'm gonna go see what this person does. And I've done this on other videos before, but I'm not looking for the answer. I'm looking for guidance towards the answer, because I've never done a cross-site scripting attack before. And if that's what this video looks like it's going towards, or this challenge, you know, I'm gonna use the internet to help me and learn from it, and then try not to use help in the future. Try to practice it myself. So it looks like he's going out to the site, which is exactly what I did, so that's good. Go Buster. Okay, wait. Now I gotta search something else. This guy just knows all the Go Bust. Kali, Linux, Go Buster. Whoops. It should get, yeah, Go Buster penetration tool. Okay. Used to brute force URIs, directories, and files on websites, DNS subdomains. So I'm going to, in a separate tab, probably have to go get it if I don't have it. Yep, go get it. Awesome. And a website for directories using a word list, and print the full URLs of discovered paths. All right, let's give it a shot. Okay, so there's the expanded. All right, so pretty much I think I may have been able to get away with this, but I need to do dir. And then -e is expanded, -u is the URL, -w is the word list. All right, I think we're onto something. All right, so far we've added 2 tools to our tool belt. We've added Nicto, I think that's what it's called. Nicto, yep, for look at that. We're getting all the same information in text form rather than Nessus. Nessus is cool, nice user interface if you like it. I think I kind of like Nicto better, so I think I'm gonna start using that. So this is printing full URLs basically. So we know that these URLs exist because we're getting HTTP statuses back. Doesn't really matter what the exact static is, but look at that, robots.txt. I think we might be able to curl that. Yeah, let's, is this done yet? Nope. All right, let's, never remember. Okay, it's finished. So server status is also interesting. 200 that it got. Let's go ahead and I doubt there's anything in here, but it's what wubba lubba dub dub. That's typically not what you'd feel like what you'd see in a robots.txt. Forget the purpose that it serves. It pretty much allows you to prevent certain hosts, I'm pretty sure, from interacting with your website like automatically, if I remember correctly, something like that. Yeah, so that's an interesting output. I don't think that's specifically any of these, but okay, starting to learn a little bit. I'm probably gonna see what this person found and then go from there. Oh wow. So -X is what he's using, and that allows you to see any of it. Don't see, oh wait, iPad extensions. So searching for lots of file extensions here. We're gonna want to redo the GoBuster, but we're gonna also add PHP, SH, TXT, CGI, HTML, JavaScript, CSS, Python. Let's see if we can find. Now we did pass in a different directory list, so hopefully we will get, or a different file name list, so hopefully we'll get similar output. We have our results finally from running the GoBuster command, and we can see quite a bit more output from beforehand. So there's actually, now we have some PHP pages that are now exposed because of, so just wanted to clarify what we did in order to get different results. So the first one we ran with without the -X command to specify the file extensions we want to see, and so basically we just did the host of the IP and some common word lists. And so this time we added PHP, SH, TXT, CGI, HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and Python, basically to get all of those valuable file extensions. And so now we can actually see that if this is a new IP because I had to spin up a new VM, but if you'll see, if I put in login.php, that I get to this portal login page. So we saw this portal picture earlier, and now we know that they are using the that picture on this page. So let's go back and get that username. Should probably take some notes. Probably be a good idea. Let's go back and get that username. Okay. Now there was also, yeah, actually, you know what? Yeah, let's take some notes. All right, so we got username, and then some passwords to try. So first I wanted to try, there was that robots.txt. So we're gonna try to grab that and see if that is, I don't think that's a password. I believe that's for something else, but we'll give it a shot. I think that worked. think it worked. Wow, we straight up. Okay, so let's so the login.php has those credentials. Okay. So now let's run some commands. Super secret pickle ingredient and a clue.txt. All right, so we're getting further. We're getting further. The sweet taste of progress. All right, so for future Pickle Rick, command disabled. Okay, well, we at least know that this is there, and what directory is this? So var www html. So the file that we want, files of interest, and the file is super secret pickle ingredient. Now we also clue.txt. Now I doubt that we can look at this, but it's worth seeing. Okay, so the whole command is disabled. Only thing it'll do is run commands. Who am I? www. Okay. Sudo. Who am I? Okay, so we apparently are able to. We're able to have sudo command, so that's really. So just doing some reconnaissance. It was. www.data sudo yes. So this is just for my own interest or for my own notes. So now that we, let's think about this. Now can I sudo cat this that I want? Can I elevate my privileges? Okay, so the whole command is disabled. So maybe we need to move this into the assets folder so that we can then access it in the assets folder. So let me see, go back to ls. Assets is a directory right there. So let's try to move this to assets. Okay, we don't see anything there. So let's try to do the exact same thing for clue.txt. And if we do an ls, they're not there. Well, let's open up this in a new tab and go to assets. Don't see that there. ls assets. Let's see if we can do that. Okay, we can. All right, so my goal is going to be to, I wonder if I can I copy this file to the assets? There it is. Let's go. So elevated privileges, able to copy the file in here and with it still existing in here. I'm just going to go ahead and do the exact same. I refresh, also have the clue as well. So let's take a look at this. So that is the first ingredient. Let's go. Okay, so ingredients. First one is this guy, Mr. Misi Care. All right. Now we're cooking, pun intended. And all right, let's go back and see the clue. Look around the file system for the other ingredient. Okay, so now we get to look around. There's two ingredients. What's the second ingredient Rick needs? What's the final ingredient? So, all right, so now let's start looking into some directories here. you know, there's plenty that we can look through. Since we are pseudo privileges, we have pseudo privileges, we can pretty much do whatever we want. Let's gosh, there's got to be lots of txt's this command. Okay, copying this so I can run, and all right, it's gonna take a while because we're searching the entire file system, but hopefully we could find a txt file. All right, here we go. There's a lot, but I'm hoping that scanning through, we can easily pick out the ones. We can discard the ones we don't care about. All right, so boom, third.txt. Third? Where is the second? All right, let's just keep searching. Keep scrolling through. So now that we have sudo permissions, technically we could set up an SSH key if we wanted. Okay, this is cloud init stuff. Okay, so let's copy into okay, now we should be able to go back to assets. We have the third ingredient, Philippe juice. So how did we skip the second ingredient? How did we skip the second ingredient? All right, well, let's take a look at, let's copy. I don't know if we care about these. I type it wrong. Oh, it's literally right in front of my face. Okay, I don't think that is what we'd want. And also gonna try, I don't know what this is, but again, can't hurt bringing it over. Priority.txt. What is this? Nope. Okay. Well, it was worth at least bringing them along for the ride, but we can boot them. Okay, so what did the clue say? Look on the file system for the other ingredient. So did I completely miss what's in here? Was there another robots.t? That should be the exact same thing. Oh my gosh. Don't tell me. Ugh. It wasn't a .txt. That's what it was. Man, that. Okay, well, that was a journey. Um, I'm gonna go need to sleep that one off. But just really quick, wanted to recap for me and possibly for you some of the new things that we learned. The first thing worth mentioning is a couple new tools. Having kind of peeking off of the walkthroughs video a little bit, I learned Nikto for being able to scan for vulnerabilities, and then GoBuster for being able to do scanning the directory. So that's how we were able to define login.php. We found the username in the source code of the homepage, and we found the password to that login screen in a robots.txt file. Once we were in, we were able to have execute commands remotely. So we were able to determine that we were the www data user, and that we had sudo permissions. So, but simply by digging around right in the current working directory, we had both the first ingredient as well as the clue to continue searching. We ended up finding /root/third.txt when we were searching for all .txt files. So that's how we got our third ingredient. Second ingredient was trickier because it was not a txt file, so it's harder to search for just files without extensions. Maybe it's easy, I don't know yet. But really what it took, with the help of looking at the video and watching what they were doing, they were actually, you know what, a Python reverse shell wasn't even needed. That's what the guy did in the video. But honestly, if I could have just searched around and looking for the home directories, those are pretty commonly used ones. I would have just copied that directory into the assets directory just like I had done, and I would have gotten that second ingredient without having a reverse shell. However, I will say having that reverse shell is pretty sweet. That's a pretty much of a recap of this CTF challenge. So it was a pretty heavy starter, I'm not gonna lie. So definitely a little intimidated for the rest of the challenges in this series, but I'm ready to learn. This is definitely drinking from a fire hose. There is quite a lot to take in, and what I like about this is there's many ways to get to the end result, the same end result. And just from watching that YouTube video, I didn't have to use as many programming related things. I just kind of like hacked my way around it in a little bit different way, but neither is necessarily better. It's just whichever one you prefer more. So thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned something. As always, of course, leave a comment down below if you enjoyed it, if you learned something, and consider subscribing. That would be really appreciated. Other than that, have a good night or a good day, and I will catch you in our next episode. See you.